As of right now, I'm going to read agenda item number 1. Public hearing on a variance request submitted by variance request Luis Anslea, to reduce the required landscaping, and 2, to allow the backing of vehicles into the street right-of-way on property located at 920 Eitzen Road, closing a public hearing and possible action.
So, Mr. Chairman, good evening, and board members. What you have before you is a variance request submitted by Mr. Ainsley, Luis Ainsley, property located at 920 Eitzen Road. So what you have here is it's a request to reduce the required landscaping, and of course a second variance to allow for the backing up of vehicles into the street right away. The property in question, as you can see, it's right here. It's right at the corner of Eitzen, and this is El Lindo right here. Our concern is, for one, the landscaping. We have it at 0. There's the actual site plan that was provided to you in the report does show some landscaping, but there's actually concrete throughout the property itself. We are not sure how that's going to be implemented. We do have the applicant here.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry.
That you said we aren't sure of what?
Can you take off?
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
That you said about that it was all concrete? And
Yeah, so the property itself, as it is right now, we don't have an actual layout. We have a proposed layout that's depicting landscaping, but we are not sure how he's going to implement the landscaping, being that the entire property has been, there's been concrete installed throughout the property. So that's something more of a...
So the photos that are shown here, there's concrete, not dirt like it shows here?
Well, there's dirt at the front parking lot, but the rest of the property is concrete.
And did you need a special permit or anything to get concrete over, or you can just do that?
Well, for parking purposes, it has to be either asphalt or concrete material as per code.
Okay.
But the thing is that, well, going back to the landscaping, we have 0 landscaping at the moment. So it's going from 20% to 0%, although the site plan is depicting that he does, or what he's proposing to install as landscaping, which is no trees. It's bushes that he's implementing or proposing. But as of today, we do not know how it's going to be implemented or planted, being that it's all concrete.
This is yours?
Yes, sir. I provided a second copy because that's not very legible. Let me go to the actual slide here.
And please, if you have any questions, I'll be more happy to elaborate on that.
So here, this is the parking in the front, the proposed parking. So the rest of the property back here, it's all concrete. So is this driveway here, and I believe there's concrete here, Mr. Ainsley?
We just threw that, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this one here is the one in question, as far as the backing up onto the street right away off of Eitzen Road. But the landscaping you can see throughout here, that's being proposed. Now, the site plan has not been accepted yet. This is a preliminary site plan, just as an FYI.
What's the percentage with that plan right there? What is the percentage that the code's 20%?
The code calls for 20%, and right now we have 0.
What would that percent be?
I do not have that information for you, Mr. Chairman. I can get that information.
What is the purpose behind having the landscaping?
First of all, well, actually, it does state it in your report. Let me read it through here. Let's see. It says the intent of this ordinance serves many purposes, such as flood mitigation, adequate circulation and drainage, and to help moderate wind, noise, and temperature extremes.
But as to this specific property, how would the landscaping or landscaping affect the
Well, landscaping-
vegetation and adequate circulation and drainage as to this specific property?
As opposed, well, the landscape will help in the mitigation of or collecting runoff water, as opposed to concrete, asphalt, any material of that sort is just going to create more runoff towards other properties, either abutting or
Is this area
Adjacent.
known to flood, especially specifically where this property is?
this one in particular, no, but we can get information as far as, because anything that's submitted to our planning department, depending on the type of business, the type of use, does sometimes require the feedback from our engineering department. I can get that information back to you if you would like that.
And what about the cost? What would the cost be for the property owner to do? Have you gotten that plan from him? What would be the cost for him to?
A cost estimate? No, I don't.
For him to do the 20%?
Yeah.
If I may, as you can see the edges, I spoke to a contractor who does this commercial type of constructions and required that I put 2 feet on, if I may. Thank you very much. So I went ahead and went with his advice. The running water will be drained right here. We have approximately 5 feet over here of all this is rock. It's dirt. So all the water that rains, we're on a hill right here. There's a hill up there, so the water that rains on the property will be drained there. The rest goes around it. The water that hits the backyard where I'm gonna have my units will drain here, all the way around the building. That's the reason of that. Those are drainage. It's dirt with actual rock. And all the way the side over here, and as well as the other. We got about 2 feet over here. These will collect the rain that falls in this area. And that's the reason that we did this. We have 2 trees that we're planting over here, another one here, and these are all little shrubs. We're gonna go with the Arizona style look. It's gonna look like sand with maintenance-free landscaping. And as you can see, we already have the concrete area where all the units, I have 6 patrol units. I am the owner of Gold Eagle Security and Investigations, and it's a locally owned company. We're just barely opening this office here, and we're spreading to other cities. So as we grow, we have to also accommodate our people. Now, since this is a driveway to store all our vehicles, they can't really park here. You've got people going in and out. I got approximately 50 feet here that require at least, they told me, 4 vehicles to park. We're gonna have a handicap with 3 more. Since all these people don't have a stop sign or a yield or anything, they're coming full blast like that. I mean, it's super dangerous. And I've already bought it and already fixed it, so I can't back out. The only way to exit this place is to safely turn completely around and only to the right. Because there's a stop sign right here where I have my finger. There is no way they can go like this and park when you got 3 or 4 cars always there waiting to get out into the new highway. This is a new highway.
Ms.
And-
Ramsey, my question for you is, what is going to be the percentage with what you propose for the landscaping?
For the landscaping, I thought, but you know, we can visit there. I thought that by doing this in front would cover the 20%. Now, I have an office right now that I've been renting for 2 or 3 years. It's 100% concrete all the way around, right across the street, 100%. And all the other offices near mine. I'm doing this so we can, any runoff water will be drained on the edges. You got about 2 feet. And that will work. And I had some people look into that. This is not a residential house. I have my house real nice, thank you. But this is a business. I was looking at the police department, the way they did this, and I went to look, and he says, yeah, that's the way they have it. Of course, they have right in the front. A lot of the businesses have 4 to 6 feet of grass with 2 or 3 trees. I have a problem here. They have to go in through this area to park. You got 2 or 3 cars right here. The next one's gonna park over here. Then these are gonna try to exit. They have to exit to the right. It's a dilemma that I have. I wish I could do something else, but unless you have any other suggestions, It's not about me, it's about my clients. They're all gonna have problems getting out of there. It's terrible. And you got all this traffic going into Archon Road, and they're not stopping. It's
So
tricky.
Are they proposing that, is the city or county or city proposing that the landscape needs to be in the front, on the bottom, towards Iton Road? Is that what they're saying? Or, because I don't see what the issue would be to back out and to be able to go from there.
If we were to do this, sir, if any water rains here, because we're in a mountain, we're in a hill, I'm sorry, and it goes through other ways, it doesn't go through here. Only the water that rains in the backyard will be drained here. All of this is 5 feet, and these are approximately 2 to 2.5. Any water that drains from this, and it's needed, a parking lot, I had 2 choices. It was gonna be concrete, or I'm gonna put asphalt. And they told me I'm gonna be putting asphalt all the time, fixing it, because of the water. It's gonna cut into it. I was forced to do this expense, and it's not cheap. And I'm gonna have cars going in, and they're gonna tear up the asphalt. So I was forced to do that. You're gonna have cars doing the same thing. I'm in a pickle. I'm trying to put as much as I can. If I could put 4 feet, great. But you've got already taken away 2 feet from 50 feet in, I mean, it's going to 48 now. And they require 4 cars, one has to be handicapped. I'm gonna put it right in the front, and I need your help to do this, to make it happen for our customers, not for me. I got already my deal here.
Ms. Rodriguez, I have a question for
Yes.
you about the safety concern for backing out of the vehicle.
Yes.
Now, what is the safety issues that the city has identified?
Well, for the most part, we did receive some feedback from our police department. You have a copy of that correspondence. Backing up onto the right-of-way is not permitted for the
For
most part.
statute, right, for ordinance?
It's a safety concern, as it may cause vehicle pedestrian safety, really. That's our.
And what they're proposing is to back out on El Indio Highway?
To Axon
Iton
Road.
Road.
And
And they actually have to maneuver inside the property. They cannot just back up onto the, it all has to be done
Because if not,
inside.
these people will be causing accidents or will have PD or DPS citing them.
That's
So
correct.
that's why the city is proposing for us to deny the variance.
That's correct.
Because then they'll be in violation and be subject to fines, accidents,
That's.
and
exactly.
liability.
Exactly.
if I may, ma'am.
Another question, Ms. Rodriguez. I'm sorry, Mr.
If I may,
Chairman.
okay.
You, in that area, because it's on the corner and you are on a hill, you are on the corner, kind of a weird corner, because it comes around. And so it kind of curves. And the actual edge is this way, like in a V. It's not a, right? There's a dip in there, isn't
Yeah.
there?
I
So all the
believe
water
so.
runs down his, would probably run, and there's water. Would you be able to check to see if it floods in that corner?
Yes, we can identify that information.
Okay, appreciate
But that would be at a different meeting if you,
That goes
I
actually to the
cannot provide
other,
that.
other lot, ma'am, that's on the right. There's one before mine, like a pizza. It's got about 40, 18 wheelers there on the side of me.
Yes.
With a lot of gravel that's always full of water there, so it's next to me right here. Now, the only reason I'm asking that is exactly what they just discussed. If you were to permit me to do that, they won't have to back up into the street. My office across the street is 100% concrete, and you still have to back up into the street. It's too small. It's only about 27 feet to the office door. This will give you plenty, ample of time to turn in and come out. That's the only way it's gonna work. If you were to deny it, then they can't turn around in there. But if you were to, the car can reverse in here and will come out. I guarantee you, I can show you if you like, that the car will be able to back out and go out front first. And this is why I'm asking that. And they're making it sound like it's gonna have to go. No, you got a lot right here. You got almost 45 feet till you get to the house, to the building. So that means if you give me this area to work with, they will be able to turn around and come out straight. It will work. But if you don't, and you want this landscaping in front, trees and all that, I would have to do something small where they have to come out with the back, and that's not permitted. With this, 100% you'll be able to turn around, because I'm doing it right now. You'll be able to turn around and come out. And there's really no other way. To be honest, if you try to come out in reverse, you can't. There's just too much traffic. They will not let you get out. You have to turn around.
Why can't you?
And just to answer your question as well, as far as additional runoff or what have you, if they're not allowed to flood any adjacent properties. They would be in violation of our code.
That's why you're requesting the landscape as well?
That's one of the reasons as well.
That's why we did this, and I was instructed by the contractor. He says that this is the same system that the police department has around the whole building. So I did the same thing. You can, and it is all around now. All of this that you see will absorb all the water that drains right here. It gets right here. All of this. And again, without this, they cannot turn and come out straight. And that's why I'm at.
So you're basically asking less on the landscape instead of the 20%, so
Yes.
that you can have the cars turn around and leave safely.
And I asked the plan department, they told me you need a variance for that. We cannot allow it. And it's very simple. I can't make the place look beautiful and then put my employees or people that visit me at risk. By doing so, you'll still have a very good runoff around the whole building, over here, and these people will be able to come out face first, front first.
But yet you don't have what the percentage is of the landscape.
No, that's why we have to have a variance to change what they want. But this is pretty close, ma'am. If you were to take all this
But
into
the variance that
consideration.
you're requesting is what, Mr. Ansley? I mean, what are you asking for, 10%, 5%, 15%? What is it that you're
I
asking
think that
specifically?
this area is gonna be, in my opinion, but, you know, we have to measure about 80% concrete, because it's needed. Just like my office is 100%, and it's needed because it's too small.
Right, but that's not my question. My
Yeah.
question is, the city requires 20%. So what is it that you're proposing on the variance specifically as a percentage?
I thought that I had the 20% up in front, if you were to allow me. But remember what they told me, ma'am, that you have to apply for a variance, and that's what it is. If you don't want to go with what they already have, then you have to come up why you need a variance. And the reason is, I'm trying to make it as clear as possible so that people can get out, turn around, and you still have some, I would say 20%, if I'm not mistaken, with all this that I'm putting around. It's where all the water that's going to come out, it's going to be absorbed.
So if you had 20%, then you wouldn't need a variance. So Ms.
Well-
Rodriguez, what is the city saying, that it's not meeting the 20% requirement?
It's not meeting, as the original proposal, it was not meeting it's not meeting the
And is this a
required.
revised proposal that we're seeing now?
Is this a-
This is a preliminary. He would have to submit an actual site plan with the revisions that are
Yeah.
required.
I'll move to table it until Mr. Ansley can provide the city with the information sufficient to help us make a better decision, because as it is right now, the way you're providing, we don't know what his percentage is. We really don't know, and the city needs to reevaluate so that we can make an informed
Well,
decision.
if
So I
I
would-
may, before we close,
No,
it is,
give me a
I'm
minute.
sorry, I apologize.
So I would just move to table that specific variance to provide him an opportunity to get that information to the city.
Is that goes only for landscaping or for
Only
both
for
back?
the,
Okay.
only for the landscaping. Yes, only for the landscaping. I move to table it so that he can provide the information he needs to the city.
Well, all I can say, if I do the 20, this was not gonna be possible. That's where I'm at. And in order for me to get this passed, you guys would have to, the board would have to see why I'm gonna deviate from the normal norms.
Is there any more space that you can put landscaping? Let's say that it
Yes.
doesn't reach the
Yes.
20%. Does it have to necessarily be in the front? Can it be anywhere on the property?
Anywhere on the property,
So if
But he's
it
already
doesn't-
has concrete in the back.
yes.
Pretty much everything from the middle of the building to the back, everything's concrete.
And that's where the
All where
runoff
he's
is.
got, and then he wants to put some more
Unless
concrete on the
he
front.
removes some of that material and,
I can do a strip, 5 feet strip right here, and that would be a big chunk, the size of right here, that can grab the additional.
Promotion.
What you're still trying to figure out is what is the percentage that's presented to us in front of us
Right.
right now. We don't know what the percentage is.
Right.
We don't know, it might be 20%, but we don't.
My
know.
take is 0%.
So
Yeah.
procedurally,
I have a motion.
there's a motion on the table, so
Yeah.
the chair could call for a second,
Perfect. Yes.
and
Yeah.
then additional
Is there a
discussion.
second? Yeah. So-
I
Second that.
Is there a second?
Yes.
And then you could have some discussion and take a vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you open the floor for discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to open the floor for discussion. Do y'all have anything else y'all like to add?
No.
May I add something else I forgot? Just for the record, we sent out 13 notices to the abutting property owners within the 200 feet radius, and we received two notices back in opposition.
2 notices back in opposition?
That's
Oh,
correct.
we did.
Okay, we didn't get those.
We
As of
didn't
the day
get
of-
those.
No, those are only provided to the city.
We don't get those?
No, ma'am. No.
So
Those
you
are
have two?
two in opposition.
That
Does
were,
it explain why they're in opposition?
Yes, I do have an explanation.
Okay,
well,
please.
then I would like to, because since we do have some discussion about that, then I would like to rescind my motion to vacate. And so we could continue on with the residents, with the residents, to hear what they want to hear.
So if there's a motion and it's been seconded, you can take a vote on the motion.
I want to rescind my motion.
If you're going to rescind your motion, then she's already seconded.
Then we move to rescind.
You can rescind your second?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
we're going to rescind.
So there's no motion on the table. We're continuing with,
Okay.
I'll go ahead and read it out.
Okay, two.
For landscaping rules should be followed. And number 2, I am totally against breaking with, backing into traffic from Eisen Road and El Indio Highway. This would cause accidents. I would also like to request that vehicles not park along Eisen Road. It will block the view to drive on off of King Arthur, I'm sorry. And then
Is
this.
that 2 letters or just?
Yes, that's the first one. There's another one. I am against this because they should follow the city guidelines. One must take care of our atmosphere. 2, I am against the allowing of vehicles to back up onto Eisen Road. Traffic will cause accidents, too dangerous. So those are the only 2 that we have on file.
So obviously they're neighbors?
They're within
I
200
can't
feet.
go
200 feet.
into, I can't go into details, right?
Yeah, no, but they're within 200 feet.
Oh, yes.
In other words,
These people
next
are.
door or here or across the street, whichever?
It's,
Doesn't matter, they
all
don't-
of-
it's unanimous.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really.
I agree with them.
So, having a motion to.
well, since we're in
It's
a
for
public
discussion.
hearing, ask all your questions and we can close the hearing and then y'all can take some motions.
I would move to close.
Now, do y'all have anybody have any other questions that you'd like to ask?
You would have to address the audience as well.
Yeah, do you have it, would you like
Well,
to say anything?
basically, I'm with them. What did you just said? We can't be going in reverse to exit that place. And we're not doing it right now. We're turning around inside. That's the only way. Now, the variance is going away from the rules that the planning department already has. They told me that. And I said, what do you mean? Well, you see, you have to have 20% landscaping. But if you want to change that, you need to get a variance. You have to talk to them and explain to them, why are you going to deviate from that? I just explained it that if we put more landscaping, they won't be able to come out with the head first. And that's what I'm trying to avoid, my clients to come out in reverse. And I'm with those people, they're worried. If we come in reverse, yes, we're gonna have accidents. And we don't even do it right now. So with this planning, not only will it absorb the water, and yes, it could be, I'm looking at it, it might be close to the 20, but that's why I need a variance. Variance means something different what they already have. By doing this, they will exit front first. No reverse like they say. I'm concerned. And if you help me, we can do this. I don't know if it's a 20%. I'm thinking it is. But even if it's not, you all have the power to see shrubs over safety. And that's where I'm at. Shrubs over safety. Do we have enough pretty shrubs? What about the accidents that might happen if we reverse? That's why I'm here today. And they told me it doesn't apply anymore. The rules are changing in your table. Help me have my clients turn around in there and come out head first so they can see when the traffic's clear. Thank you.
Can you explain to me one more time, how do you expect your clients to go in and turn around? You did it a while ago.
It is almost 45 feet in, man.
Okay.
This room's only 25, maybe a little longer. So when they go in, we're doing it right now, we're parking in the dirt. Just sales pa fuera. You can't come out any other way but head first. So what happens is, you go in like this. You can turn in, this is concrete, you can turn in and they come out. Same thing the next one, they turn in, they can come out.
They turn in, they go reverse, and then come.
Inside,
Yeah,
it'll give you 45 feet of concrete all the way in for them to do this. And right now, there is not any concrete and we're doing it that way. You cannot get out of there safely. Like these young people concerning that they're gonna cause accidents, yes they will. They're thinking we're gonna have a lot of people going in. This is an administrative building.
Mr. Ansi,
Yes.
your figure does not show us the parking spaces nor the dimensions,
Mhm.
so that we can accurately see how much space the vehicle takes up, how much space parking spaces will take up, and if it actually gives them enough room to go in. I mean, so we don't have that information.
I put here the dimensions of the parking lot, ma'am, I'm sorry. And it measures here 50 feet and a half
But that's not my question.
Yes.
by 43.
If I may, you are correct about that. That's a very good point, though. I was just trying to have him speak. But yes, we do, when we would require an actual site plan depicting the dimensions of the actual lot and the lot spaces themselves.
And did he provide one to you?
That's all we have as of today.
So how long did he have an opportunity to provide all this information to you?
The application was submitted, and I believe he's been in contact with our inspectors for some time now, if I'm not mistaken. But yes.
I've been working with them and asking them and what I can do. And I put the dimensions here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Anthony.
Normally, it's a month in advance when we receive the application, but the applicants normally are in speaking terms or in contact with our
Yeah.
building inspectors.
So then, from the city, from the building inspectors, from the information that you've gathered, how many parking spaces are there going to be?
He needs 4, including the ADA parking.
Okay, and what's the dimensions? How much space will they actually have? Because he's saying it's 45 feet that he has in parking space. So how much space will they actually have to turn around with the 4 spaces?
I don't have that.
No, also, isn't there like a setback, 25 feet setback?
For commercial, for the zoning, yes. The front, I believe it's 20, if I'm not mistaken.
So we have an ample, we have a lot.
Parking. That doesn't apply to parking. just for
We need
setbacks
around 40
or
feet
traffic.
roughly for 4 cars. We're gonna have 50 feet. We have more than enough. And it's almost 45 feet in. It's pretty good size.
The layout. Yeah.
It's a very good size, ma'am, and it's already measured here.
If anything,
Yeah.
you can either condition, and you can always approve with the condition that they comply with the actual codes, but that's really up to the board.
I'm here to do
Unless you
that.
want to come back and we can present an actual site plan, an actual,
Then I'll move to abate, so that pending a site plan from Mr. Ansley to demonstrate the size of the parking spaces, how much space they would have to the vehicles to turn around in there, and also to see how much actual landscaping is covered here, the percentage, so that we can see and assess for ourselves to make that decision. For him to get that information to the city, and so that they can provide it in return to us.
that makes sense.
So you call for a second,
I second that.
and y'all can discuss and vote.
No discussion, that's it.
Yeah, would y'all like to have, is there anyone else that has any other questions?
I'm sorry, who will second the motion, Antonio?
Okay.
Why don't you close the public hearing and call the time? Since
We need
there's,
to vote.
yeah, but let's close the public hearing, then y'all can,
Okay. Well,
Did you have anything else you'd like to add before we close?
he can just close it.
All I can say is that there's ample for 6 cars, and they only require 4, which we're gonna do. Also, it's gonna have to be, if you're gonna allow me or not, it has to be a little bit of Either you're gonna make it a nice landscaping or safety for the clients. I don't think I can give you more than what I have without jeopardizing space. But right now, we got room for 6, it's almost 50 feet. But we will do exactly as you feel comfortable, but again, this will have to be in order for our clients to come out. And because it's 50 feet, they're 6 to 8 feet per car, you might even get 6 cars in there.
And we're not saying we're against it, I just think we would like to see a little bit more information and more detailed information before we. make a
I'm
final
here to
decision.
give you anything you want. Right now, they just asked for the dimensions of the property,
Yeah,
and they asked me for 4 cars, and I said, fine.
yeah.
It's ample, it's a lot, it's
Okay.
50 feet.
So,
All right, so we'll move to close this hearing. Is there any?
You can just close it and state the time.
Okay.
All right, time is 6:27.
And then there's a motion pending discussion or a vote.
There's a motion and a
just,
second.
yes, just to be clear on the motion, to abate pending, so that we can get the dimension, the actual site dimensions with the parking spaces, how many parking spaces that are going to be there, and to show how if there's ample room, what the footage is for the vehicles to turn around in there, and what the actual percentage is for the landscaping.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
There's a motion and a second already in place.
All right, would like to vote?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right.
Thank you, Ms. Hanson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. May I be excused?
Yes.
All right. Have a good day.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
can
Likewise.
call tomorrow, Mr. Hanson,
Yeah.
or call me whenever you're ready.
Sure, maybe we can resolve this and we can give you exactly what's needed. Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay, for agenda item number 2, public hearing on a variance request submitted by Berta A. Cardenas to reduce the required front yard building setback area from 25 feet to 12 feet to allow for the construction of an attached carport on property located at 2179 Ricks Drive, closing a public hearing and possible action. I myself am abstaining from this item, and I believe,
I am too, abstaining from this item due to the fact that it's a conflict of interest that we both work together in the same office.
yes.
Thank you.
Because of this, we do not have a quorum, so we will have to table this until the next meeting.
And before you all move to adjournment, if you could just call for citizens communications, just in case there's any. I think
Okay.
we missed that on
Yeah.
the.
Anything that y'all see for citizens communication?
There was
Anything?
nothing submitted, ma'am.
Nothing? Okay, awesome.
I move to close.
I
Adjourn the meeting.
Awesome. Second that. All right. All right, all in favor? Aye.
We don't have a quorum, so.
Thank you.
It's just, yeah.
6:29.
All right, time is 6:29.
All right.